Hi and welcome back to the lab. And today here on the bench we have a Yaesu FT-847. And the radio came in with a crackling and noisy audio controller. So the audio volume control is very much noisy and crackling, so that the normal audio is disturbed. So let's see what we can do. Okay, and here we have our radio, and as you can see, I've already switched it on, and it is not much to test for a problem with you know, the volume control. Yeah, you can already hear that there are interruptions, if you like. But to hear it a little bit better here on the video, I have simply put the signal here to the radio, and yeah, you may hear that. So, you know, that pot is definitely worn out, and well, one problem is this radio is totally end of service, so that means you cannot get any spare parts any longer. So if you're lucky, you might find something, but you definitely do not get anything from Yaesu any longer. And now with you know, a crackling and noisy audio pot, you would think that well, we clean it just a little bit, put a little oil to it, and then it might be good. And that is not totally wrong. So as long, you know, a pot is only dirty, you can do that. But this radio and the potentiometer here is known that it is not only dirty, so over the time we have little cracks, you know, inside our carbon. And for instance here, so this is a normal potentiometer, and you see that on the surface here we have the carbon, and then you can adjust the wanted volume, the wanted level, so no question. So if it is only dirty, no problem, you put some contact cleaner to it, and then maybe some oil or such, and then everything is fine. But if there are cracks in the carbon, then you can do it as well, and it will help a short while, but then you know, it will get back and you have the same problem. So that means in this particular case, the only thing we can do is to remove the old pot and put a brand new in. The problem is, as I already said, it is not easy to get spare parts. Anyway, I have a source, and I get very few of them are still there, but nearly over. Anyways, so let's crack open the radio. We need to dismantle the entire front panel to be able to get here to our pot. Okay, so as you can see, here we have our front panel PCB, and you see the funny mounting of this pots here. So they are really very special, and we have to swap out this one here, and I was luckily enough to found a brand new potentiometer here to fit it in. So next step now is to remove here the old one, and then let's see that we can get in the new. And one warning: if you have limited experience with radios like this, so be careful if you really try to take something like this apart. So that is definitely nothing for a young player, so be warned. Okay, so first of all we prepare our solder joints, but it is a little bit easier to remove them. So that is what we're doing here. Okay. Course. So let's try to remove here our pot. Okay, so let's see if everything is already free. Good, so let's flip it over. Let's see if we can pull here our defective part. And yes, looks quite good. So here we have the faulty one. Okay, so let's go to replace the new one. And of course, as always, I have completely cleaned here our surface, so everything is now nicely prepared. And yeah, so let's look here. So this is here our brand new, you can see it, never used before, and most probably one of the last in Europe. So okay, let's install it. Okay, one additional information. So if you have a worn out potentiometer like this, you always have play. Not sure if you can see it, but we have here quite a bit of play. And the new one has absolutely no play, so everything is really good. So that is something where you see and feel, of course, the difference, besides the fact that, of course, you always hear a crackling pot. And so, okay, that's as additional info. And of course, before you solder it completely in, you need to take care that you have aligned it nicely, so that there is no play here. So I've tucked it here only, if you can see it here, so that we really have it nicely in. And now I can do all the other solder joints. And yeah, let me go ahead. That is not so important now for the video. I believe you really have all the important points, so let me finish this solder work here. Okay, so everything is done. I've already cleaned here our PCB. So yeah, we can go ahead and put it all back. But first, of course, we clean here our display. So that is always very important when you work on such stuff, because otherwise you have a dirty display and you cannot get to it, of course, when everything is back in place. So therefore that is very very important, and be careful that you really take the right stuff for it. So I always use glass cleaner, because that is really nice and makes it all, yeah, like new. So therefore that is yeah, what you need to do as well, and take your time for sure. Now it's back in its metal frame, and yeah, you already need to be very careful that everything is nicely back here. And then of course we need to put here first our screws back here to the pots. And yeah, that all needs to be done in yeah, you should not be on hurry, otherwise you are lost for sure. And before we put here our front panel plastic back, of course we have to clean here the window as well, so you may see how dirty that is, and therefore, as I said, take your time. Okay, now we are in the process here putting all knobs back so that we can finish this work. Okay, and everything is back so far. We have already connected the radio to our power supply and to our signal generator, so let's try. Okay, radio comes up, and let's see. And we have no crackling anymore. Crisp and clean as we would expect it. Very nice. So let me check if our RF come on, if our RF here is working good. And yes, you see our RF regulator is working very nice. Yeah, very nice. Everything is good, and yeah, radio can go back to its owner. And of course, this is the end of the video. As always, hope you learned something, and catch you next time. Bye.